Eve paints.
Hey folks, welcome to another 3D printing Patreon preview. I have 89 campaigns to share with you today. Quick content warning, some of these campaigns contain pinup style models. I've left a link in the description to a video discussing why that needs a content warning. That said, let's get started. First up, K-Scale Models is making free weapons downloads for your Gunpla. This fighter/alchemist is a free download from Iconic Minis. Kerpa Miniatures has some free shields to give away this month. The Nalon Realm is back, and they have a couple characters for their November release. Stormcrow has sculpted their largest mini yet, a Shivian dragon from Magic the Gathering. Realm of Paths has posted close-ups of their battle nuns and abominations I showed you last week. The Owl has a Dragonborn robe this month, as well as what looks to be a Necromancer. Here are work-in-progress shots of the heavy armor that 3D Print Cleric is working on. Jerry GM has 2 frog and 1 lizard folk this month. KLT Studio has 3 barbarians, as well as V from Vendetta and more. Here are 2 work-in-progress shots of Birdfolk from Blue Wyvern. Here's your monthly fix of cute aliens from Zombie Smith Miniatures. Vinci Miniatures has a rat senator being carried on a palanquin. From Ivan, here is the flagship of the Titans race. Your Neighbor Night Minis has an astronomer and a goblin mechanic this week. That orc didn't stand a chance against the King on his Hippogriff from Empire Miniatures. Combat Octopus has 4 members of the Indian Army for their November release. Bob Naismith has been working on more types of civilians for their next release. Maps and Monsters has 3 Thelatos monsters this week. Here's an almost finished Demon Hunter from Sculptuner. Panzer Printer has 3 different early tank prototypes from World War I and after. August McDaniel is making cement barriers and doing a good job making convincing cracks on them. Labyrinth Models has spider-themed Dark Elves for November, and a preview of their Valkyries coming in December. Claudio Cassini Art has a Bugbear, a Barbarian, and Goblin coming in December. The Portal of Morrow has 2 great-looking Guardians of the Ancient Order coming in November. Zandoria Studios is working on miniatures at a garden gnome scale. Patrick Miniatures have finished up the second house and a small chapel as part of their Polish village. Here are some 10mm deep ones from Red Nebular. Zombie pack number 15 from Vault Z is all crawling zombies. Magori Miniatures have reworked their Half-Eye Goat Chief model. Orc King's November release includes a Rotten Lizard, a Great Witch, as well as minions and Plague Warriors. This Dwarven Catapult is the final piece of Dragon's Lake Miniatures' November release. Maddox Historical has minis for different armies of the 7 Years and French Indian Wars. Two Gargoyle Studio has some male and female Space Knight heads this week. My 3D Print Forge has a horde of undead, including a monster, rogues, warriors, wizards, a necromancer, and more. This month, Legend Builds is taking a break from their fantasy world of Eros for a one-off Nation of Heroes sci-fi release. Village's Hope Miniatures already has 8 new goddesses this month, including Isis, Artemis, Tiamat, Hestia, and more. Legion Miniatures have added 3 new superheroes to complete their November release. Cult Miniatures has a nice little army of Goblin Reavers for November, with infantry, knights, witches, a mounted boss, and more. Galad Miniatures is working on knights for November. Belinda, Ileana, and a sheeted body diorama are the completed October rewards from Bellanoct Miniatures. This is The Snow Ride, a preview of Creature Armory's next model. Here is the November mini lineup from Own Miyoji. I think they're mostly small scale, but highly detailed. Tank bots have arrived from Imitation of Life Miniatures. Vroom vroom. Ilhadiel has a new Manticore and Dark Elf Rider, as well as an Armored Sorceress. Crucible of Games has some nice new mechs, soldiers, and vehicles for their 2-Pi army. Here are teaser images of all the sets that Aether Studios added to in October. Dark Forest from Drunken Dwarf includes 2 druids and 2 ents. Here are 4 work-in-progress Monkey King poses from Goonmaster Games. Turn-Based Miniatures has previews up of some weapons they're working on, as well as post-apocalypse soldiers and more. Maddox has a Spice Syndicate for hire with multi-part models and nestable crates full of spice. Here's all the spooky models that Capsule Chibi released in October. Wake's Emporium is working on White Tree Spearmen and Infantry. Here's a couple work-in-progress shots of the Dark Dwarves Warplock miniatures is working on for next month. The Baltic is the first of the superheroes from C27 Collectibles this month. Epic's End Stuffs has some human infantry in the works. Here's a classic Splinter Wolf mech from Polygon Masterworks. Print Your Monsters November release, Thralls of the Ooze Lord, has a really great necrotic ooze dragon. Here are the full sets of Gangsters and Brain Flayers from Titan Troll Miniatures, as well as Bugbear Warriors. Here is a work-in-progress Hobgoblin Warrior from Manuel Boria. November models from Raven Twin Miniatures include Sun Wukong Shabti and Necropolis Guard with various weapon options. Station Forge has a squad of Grimguard heavy support incoming. Knucklebones is nearing completion on both a Hell's Reach biker and their big walking tank. The Innkeeper and the Barmaid from Bright Minis secretly used to be pirates. Here's a fancy Noth Yiddick from Schlossbauer, as well as Majora's Moon. This is the Ronin Master of Star Wars Visions from Black Remnant for December. Daybreak Miniatures have full previews up for The Skyborn of Aquila, their November release. Across the Fey Realm Portal is the November set from Vevictus Miniatures, a perfect little diversion from a larger story arc. .3DXM has a not-so-chibi Judge Dredd, as well as an adorably chibi Krang. Chibi STL has a Chibi Xenomorph this week, as well as Luke and Yoda. Dark Realms has released Atlantis, with 2 towers and 4 buildings. New models from Rocket Pig Games this month include the Titan Skull Crab, Cactus Drake, the Soul Cage Demon, and more. Last Sword Miniatures has a bunch of work-in-progress shots this week of their December set. Here's a finished but unposed Skull Lord from Yasashi Kyojin Studio. These are the Crow Whisperer and the All-Seeing, as well as the leader of the Desert Mercenaries and Aisha, the Adventure Seeker, from Great Grimoire. Previews from Printed Obsession include a Fire Wasp, Shadow Raven, Icicle Cobra, Thunder Boar, and Fox of the North Winds. Atlan Forge has a force of Templar Noble Knights this month, as well as a peek at some heavier armor on the horizon. The final piece of Gamescape 3D's November release is set number 1 of Rotting Furniture. Geargut's Mech Shop has new walkers, a boss, more bruisers, a vehicle, and more. This is The Worthy Prey, a work-in-progress shot from 3D Art Digital. Rodriguez from Ritual Casting will be a Dominion heavy gunner when she's done. Legendary undead beastmen have arrived from Avatars of War. Here's a nice set of modular sci-fi troopers from Anvil Digital Forge, the Republic Grenadiers. Here's a look at Gomek's Japanese-themed dark space elves. From Highlands Miniatures, these are the Sunland Knights, 1st Cavalry from the Empire of the Sun. Epic Miniatures' 1st December set is titled Kingdom of Secrets, so far including a tavern with drunken chef and server, an adventurous dwarf, an eye tyrant, mimic knights, Fiona the Bard, a wizard tower and grey wizard, and a half-gnome mage. Here is a closer look at the Valor Corps Shock Cavalry and Cyberzerker's mobile cannon platform from the Maker's Cult. One Page Rules have close-ups of their November release this week, with Sabretooth riding mummified undead, and leaders and vehicles for the Robot Legions. And finally for today, MZ4250 has an Elder Brain Dragon, a Draco Hydra, and 2 patron requests, a Penguin Ranger, and a Half-Dragon Frost Giant. That's all for now. I'd like to give a huge thanks to all my patrons on Patreon. Your support really means a lot to me. Check back Tuesday for another Kickstarter countdown, like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos, and thanks for watching.